My name is Philumi, and if it's your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you're also welcome. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It just helps YouTube, you know, that something amazing is happening on here. People are liking the content and you're staying, so please do subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can know when I upload new videos. So today's video is kind of different. It's going to be my first sew along. I don't know, sew along. Yeah, well, I've been sewing all this time, but it's also going to be my first time trying out a commercial pattern from an indie company. It's also going to be the first time I'll be reviewing a pattern. What are the first? So yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. I am a pattern tester for this company, Pattern Tester. Yeah, that's the name of the company, and they have a new pattern that they're about to launch called the Bermondsey Dress, and I chose to do the view A. So I'm going to show you what the view A looks like right now, and I'm really excited for this. So I've printed out the patterns, and from what I can see straight ahead, it looks very straightforward, and I've gone through the instructions. The instructions are also simple to follow, so this will be interesting. First time assembling paper PDF pattern, first time trying out a commercial pattern, and first time showing it to you on my channel and doing a sew along. So I'm going to show you how I assemble the patterns together, how I cut it, my size, and you know, the final product. I'm going to make the dress, so I'm really excited. It's also a very different dress. I've never made anything like this before. It has an open back, an elasticated waist. It's a raglan sleeve. I've not sewn a raglan sleeve before, so I'm excited about that as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't want the intro to be too long, so you can just get right into it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to be using this Ankara fabric. The pattern actually calls for fabrics such as chambray, but anyways, any lightweight fabric. So I'm going to be using this Ankara fabric. It also needs interfacing, iron-on interfacing. It needs a hook and eye, which I have here. Elastic, which is like half an inch elastic. Paper tape for taping the patterns together. A matching thread. Fabric scissors, paper scissors, measuring tape, and of course the pattern. Okay, so I have the instructions here on my laptop, and this is the layout of the pattern pieces. So I'm gonna follow these guide. The patterns are also numbered, and I'm just gonna follow the pages to arrange the pattern. So this should be easy. It's just about taping papers together. Okay, so I have cut out my fabric. As you can see, I have the front, the back, and the facings. Yeah, it's time to mark the notches, and I'll get to sewing. So before starting to sew, I have ironed interfacing on the neck face, the front neck facing, and the back neck facing. Okay, so according to the pattern instruction, the first thing to do is to take the front panel and the shoulder panel and match the notches like so, and then sew. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna match the notches on the armhole, pin. All right, so I've never sewn a raglan sleeve, so I'm a bit confused at this point, and I might say that the instruction is not really clear, but it says pick up the back top, which is this one, and place the shoulder of the back piece A on the shoulder panel C so that they're right sides together. Line up the notches and pin or repeat for the other shoulders, and then stitch at 1 centimeter seam allowance. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm going to stitch up the sleeve part to the armhole of the back, and then I'll see how it looks like. So at this point I'm really confused. So this is the front and this is the back and this is the sleeve. What do I do next? Because right now it looks like an off the shoulder. Like what's going on here? I don't get it. What do I do with this inner sleeve? I don't know. Should I take it this way and then sew? I think I should do that. I should just sew across like this, but then how it's gonna look like on the other side? It's gonna have a folded like tip. I don't think this is how it's supposed to look like. Okay, let me try that. The instruction on this one is not clear. I mean, this pattern has been good so far. So I'm gonna place the shoulder notches like this and then sew across. Yeah. Okay, I figured it out. I was putting in the wrong direction. So it's this way. It comes up. And yeah. Great. Now let's sew it along the shoulders. Okay, so I've gotten to the point where I'm supposed to attach the neck facing to the neckline. And then it says to gather the neckline, so my bad. I'm going to remove the stitch I made here to close off the sleeve, so it's going to be gathered. Okay, now that makes sense. That makes sense because I didn't understand what the pattern was saying before. So I'm going to loosen the stitch I made and then gather the neckline to fit the width of the facing. It's so obvious. It's so obvious that I'm struggling with the pattern. Not the fault of the pattern, but I haven't worked with someone else's pattern before, so all the steps are not clear in my mind. So when I make my own pattern, I just know what I want to do, what pieces come together, and then I sew. But now it's different. It feels different. It's not the fault of the pattern. I just need to read properly and like know the steps beforehand. So one step I missed before starting to gather the neckline is to add bias tape to finish the center back, right? Well, it's not really a center anymore because it's like slashed, but yeah. So I'm gonna finish off the center back with a lining, with a bias tape, and then I'll gather the neckline and then add the facing, and okay, now the proper steps continue. Okay, so I finally was able to gather the neckline to the neck facing, and now I'm just gonna sew at 1 centimeter seam allowance all around, and we'll read the next step. So although the pattern doesn't say to notch the neckline, I've come to know that notching the circular neckline is much better. So just gonna notch around before I turn and then do the top stitching. Okay, so I'm gonna press the neckline, guys. It's important to always press. Press the seam allowance towards the line. Okay, so before I go ahead and sew the side seams, I need to finish off the armhole with a bias tape. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Finish the armhole with the bias tape. Place the bias tape on the right side of the fabric, and then just sew following the fold line. first fold along towards the edge. Okay, so I'm starting to lose daylight, but what's left is the skirt, and that's pretty straightforward. I'm going to sew up the center back together and then join the front and the back skirt together at the side seam, and it's all a straight stitch. So that's what I'm going to do before adding the elastic to the waist, and I think I'll be pretty much done. So I think the top was the most stressful part, but the skirt seems easy, and I've never applied or I've never added elastic band the way the pattern calls for it, so it's also going to be a new thing to me, and I hope I get it right. So what I'm going to do now is sew up the skirt, center back, side seams, and then we move on to attaching the elastic band. Okay, so by the way, I finished all the raw edges with a zigzag stitch. So the pattern calls to turn the skirt right side out and match the center front of the skirt and center front of the top. That's what I'm gonna do. Take the top, match, place it right sides together, match the center front and pin, match the center front and match the side seams, match the side seams, and then the back notch. Okay, seems to all fit. Once I've pinned the top to the skirt, I'm then going to sew with a basting stitch and then prepare the elastic. Yep. Okay, so I've pinned my waistband to the center front, to the side seams, and the center back. Okay, so the elastic has been sewn. So the pattern says flip it inside and then sew on top of the fabric on the right side. So I'm almost done with the dress. The final step is to hem the bottom, which I'm going to fold over twice and then sew just the normal hemming, and then attach the hook and eye, which probably haven't done that much, but simple. Just gonna hand sew the hook and eye to the top of the back neckline and just be done. It's been a long day, but I'm finally done with the dress. I kind of like it. I like it, but I have a few things to say. I don't like how high the neck is. I mean, it's a bit crooked. That's a fault of mine because I didn't align, I didn't gather it properly. I didn't gather it evenly. So that's a fault of mine, but still the neck is so high. I don't like how high the neck is. I would bring it down next time if I'm to make this pattern again. What else? Yeah, the pattern doesn't have pockets, but the first time I wore it, it looked really awkward just hanging there. So I added pockets to the side seams, so you could do that as well. And then instead of finishing with a bias tape, I did a casing, an elastic casing instead, so it's also neatly finished inside. And the back is open. I don't think I can do this much openness, so I'm definitely gonna wear something inside. But then it's sagging a little bit. I think I would reduce the length of the back so it fits properly without gaping. I think that's about it, but overall the dress pattern is really nice. The style of the dress is nice. The pattern was easy to cut and put together. The instructions I had to like read properly and then make up the meaning along the way. It wasn't so clear, but it was okay. And then instead of a hook and eye, I did put the hook and eye at the beginning, but it wasn't fitting together. Like it kept on losing at the back, so I decided to use a snap. So I use snaps instead for the back. Yeah, so I use snaps instead. So this is it, guys. This is the, I forget the name. The Bermondsey dress. Bermondsey. Alright, so this is it. I like it. I like that I added pockets. Pockets are very important. Makes it really nice. So yeah, this is it.